Hola, bienvenidos, bienvenidas a un episodio más de Chain Reaction. El episodio de hoy es bastante especial, va a ser nuestra última entrevista del año. Nos encontramos con la banda BRAINBLAST, con dos de sus integrantes. Así que vamos a cambiar y en esta parte en la que va a estar Nick, vamos a hablar en inglés. So I'm gonna switch to English. And
Local.
I'm introducing the members of the band BrainBlast. This is our last interview of the year for us, and please welcome everyone to Chain Reaction. This is our podcast where every week at Tuesday 8 p.m. we interview Colombian bands from the extreme music scene, the underground scene as well, punk bands, metal bands, everything that makes noise that sounds gnarly, we interview. So as I was saying, we are here with Ed Jimenez, which is the guitarist and vocals of Brain Blast, and we are here as well with Nick LeFou on drums. So welcome, guys. How are you?
Doing all
Hello,
right,
guys. First
man.
of all, cheers. Thank you for the invitation. Here we got Nick. Hey, Nick, what's up?
Yo, yo, yo. How are you guys doing?
Cool.
We're good. We're good. And from our team, we welcome Santiago Cortez. Santi, how are you?
Hey Jose, hey guys, nice to have you here. This is very,
It's
very, very special for us having you here as our last in our last interview for the year.
Well, thank you for having us. It's awesome to be here.
Oh,
thank you
nice.
so much for the time and for the invitation, guys. Thank you so much.
So
Oh,
last interview of the year, first one in English for us.
Okay, cool.
So
Hell yeah.
let us begin by talking about the beginnings of Brain Blast. So Ed, you founded Brain Blast in 2015. It really took shape like in 2016. This first EP called The Primal Impulse came out in 2019. Could you tell us a little bit about that like primordial era of the band? How did you came up with the idea of the band?
Well, in the very first the steps of the band wasn't that focused until like 2029, I would say. But on the first era of the band, I would say that um, I founded the band along with other members, with other guys who, at the moment, we just wanted to play some music, some metal. We used to play a lot of covers back then, but I don't know why. Like life happens, and everyone left the band around 20, 2015, like in the same year. So I was left alone with the band, and I was like, everyone left, but I want this to be like a real project, like a real band someday. And during that time, I focused on writing on everything since the band started, and like since around that time, like it always kept like this. It was until 2029 that we released our debut EP, the
Mhm.
Primal Impulse, which was
2019, man.
2019, which was
Kissing the future.
well received. Yeah, and it was nice. It was nice. So I mean, I tried to keep it starting to making something like it was our first EP. So after that, I thought like it would be like a really good idea to make an album. And you
Mhm.
wouldn't believe me, but the album that was just released to this year
Mhm.
was I remember it was being written since 2029, around that era, around the time where the EP came out, because the EP
Mhm.
was written around like 2026, 2016. Sorry for that,
Mhm.
2016.
So it's been around like 5 years, 5 or 6 years of composition, of developing the album, of recording the album. I wanted to ask, Nick, did you record the drums for this album? How did you came into the picture of BrainBlast?
On the debut album, he came after. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, well, for this album, well, Ed, I released the first fragment album, I guess, and like right after we released that album, Ed contacted me and asked me if I was interested in recording the album for him, and so then he sent me some of the songs, and I saw it was pretty much in the same genre as First Fragment, so it's what I do.
Like the vibe. I remember that the Gloria Eternelle of First Fragment had a lot of details and nuances that I was totally amazed by, and I was like, "Hey Nick, I love your work on this record. Let's try to make something amazing with the album." And yeah,
that's pretty much how it all came around with me. And then after that, well, he sent me, the guitar profiles and started working on the songs and getting an idea of what we wanted to do and all this. And then like 4 months later, I think we started the recording, and it was like 4 days, just grinded that and made it happen, man.
This was like
I
year?
remember
Like
it was crazy.
2020 what? This was the recording of the
This was
2022.
Yep, 2022.
I remember it was like around March 2022.
Yeah,
if I'm right.
Yeah, I think it was beginning of March or something like that. Yeah.
Crazy because the album was recorded, like the drum parts, I remember they were recorded around like 3 or 4 days straight. I don't know, but like,
wow.
Yeah, it was
3 or 4 days.
pretty-
Do you remember, Nick?
Yeah, like 4 days, I think, and we grinded it. At first, like first song, we sent it to Ed, and then like we had like changes to do and this and that, and we had to work on our our communication and stuff. But after that, so that took like a big part of our time because we weren't like sure of this and that, and when like I'm here in Montreal, he's in Colombia, so sometimes the messages had to wait to get a response and all that. So, but after that, we were on track, and like the next 3 days, it just went pretty good. So no problems.
I remember that Nick worked his ass off this record. He worked a lot. I remember that on the first day of recording, like you along with the recording engineer, with Dominic, he's an amazing guy. You like, I remember you spent like the whole day tracking the first song of the record, and we only had like 4 days left, and it was crazy because it was taking a lot of time. So we have a small time frame to record the whole thing. Like I'd say but it was Nick with the recording engineer, who was Dominic. This guy Dominic, he's an amazing producer as well. He also was the I guess he used to play. He once go live with Cryptopsy.
Yeah, I think he did a couple of tours with Cryptopsy. Yeah, he also plays, I think he plays guitar, if I'm not mistaken, or bass with his band, The Last Felony, and other like hardcore, deathcore style projects.
Yeah, but he's an amazing guy. Like he's really talented for recording, for engineering, and he was the guy behind the drum recordings with Nick.
Nice.
Yeah,
it's
it was
really
a
amazing
great
that
session.
it's really amazing that you get to record like these very technical drums in just 4 days. It really shows off
Yes.
like all this effort and all this technique. I would like to say I really enjoyed the album,
Me
the
too.
Colossus.
yeah.
Actually, we included it in our top list of Colombian
Nice.
releases
Yeah.
of metal. We
That's
really
awesome.
enjoyed
Thank you,
the
guys.
album. And now that you were talking about Dominic, I
There are
understood
two
that you
Dominics, right?
also,
There are two Dominics. The one,
yeah,
the engineer guy, and Dominic Forrest, the legendary bassist, which is the
yeah,
bandmate of Nick. He
Yeah.
plays as well
mhm,
on First Fragment, and he used to be in
Okay.
Beyond Creation and a couple more amazing bands.
mhm. So
So there are two
let us
mix.
talk about first about the Dominic Grimard, the recording engineer. I understood
Yeah.
you also work with Christian Donaldson on the part of mixing and mastering. So could you tell us a bit more about how did you contact them? Why did you choose, in particular, to record with him, and why make the mix and mastering with this with Christian, which is a Cryptopsy band member as well?
I'm
Uh,
not sure if
me
Ed
or Nick?
initially wanted to go with Chris, but I do know, like, I always record pretty much all my albums with
Yeah,
Chris or
Mhm.
with Dom. So I don't know if Ed wanted
it's a huge
initially to
team.
do it, or if I mentioned to him that I record with Chris a lot. And like,
No. I
I don't
always like
remember.
I followed Chris' work since a lot of time. First of
Mhm.
all, since the I remember I was in the school and I heard for the first time the Beyond Creation Auras, their debut album, and I thought the production was amazing back then because around that era, this record was very influential because in production terms there wasn't as many records sounding like this back then in 2011, I guess. So I had always Christian's works in mind. It was like always like a dream for me. Like, hey, someday I would like to go there and record or anything. But
Mhm.
after I finished the album on 2021, around 2022, the same on the same time period where we started talking with Nick, uh, I contact I contacted Chris and I told him about the idea of the album. Hey, I want to record this album. Um, I want the drum. I want that like the drum parts will be recorded on their studio. Around
Mhm.
that time, it was called the Grid Studio, but now Chris' studio goes by his own name now, so it's Christian Donaldson Studio.
Mhm.
And yeah, it much I know these guys are like absolutely professionals, like the whole team, like since Nick, Dominic, and Chris. You combine these three, and you can't go wrong with these guys. So it's amazing, and I guess the final product went out really well, and I'm super happy and super stoked of what this album has opened for us in terms of the opportunities
Mhm.
or connecting with new fans or people. Like I've seen media from China or Japan already, so it's crazy because
Wow.
we are
In
a band
China.
from
Wow.
Colombia, and something like this is
Damn.
really emotive and amazing for us, and also for Nick for being part of this, and it wouldn't be possible without the his work in the album and his interpretation and his good technique and everything he did in the record.
Yes, like sonically, an amazing album. It sounds really great, like heavy. You can understand every instrument. Like the dynamics is really well.
Mm.
I
It's
mean,
really virtuous. Besides,
And
yeah,
also
it's
it's a
in the
really
album.
tough mix. I remember Christian was like, this is the heaviest things you can mix because it's not only difficult because you have to mix. If tech death wasn't already difficult to mix, we have tech death with
Okay.
orchestra, like
yeah.
a lot of tracks with orchestra and stems.
Mhm.
So it was a really fine album mix, like a really difficult task to mix this album, and he did absolutely an amazing job. Christian has worked. He actually does work with bands you hear like in Nuclear Blast or Metal Blade Records. So this was the guy always like. If I had all the if the band had the budget or in unlimited budget, I would still choose Christian to mix this album.
Now that you were talking about like this orchestration and this symphonic part of the whole album, you have a background in like in classical music traditions and you, like this formal training. So how does this influence? How can you translate that classical influence into writing like a metal riff, like this counterpoint structure? How did you take influence from that from classical music, or
Or
just
even
the
how you
orchestration
transform
part?
it.
It was crazy at the beginning of the writing of the album because I started writing some riffs and I wanted to write like overlaying with orchestra, but at the time like like around 2019, sorry, I remember that I thought of that, but it was a bit weird because it isn't that common, like isn't absolutely that common, like in tech that you can absolutely listen to it like in symphonic death metal like Flesh God, Septic Flesh, bands like Epica, all of these bands. But I don't know, around that time on the first like 2029, it feel a bit weird, but I had this feeling that like I want to make it no matter what, like introducing like a piano line, like a solo piano line. I thought it was weird, and I
Mhm.
also thought like many people will uh, get annoyed by this. Or also we have received messages from people like, I love the album, but there's too much orchestra and anything. But I guess this is a huge, great and standpoint for the band because isn't that common. Like absolutely in on
Mhm.
tech death isn't as much as common.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
regarding the classical influence, I would say it's always been there since the beginning of the band. Uh, our main influences besides metal, I would say, would be first of all in the classical era composers like Bach, Beethoven, Liszt, Chopin, around like this type of composers. And that's how like those huge influences like impacted a lot on the writing of the album since the beginning. And
Mhm.
also because I studied orchestration and all of that like influenced me a lot and like
Mhm.
make the ideal scenario for all of this taking place together. And I don't
Yeah.
know for Nick, what would you say like which are the influences for you? Like what would you say?
Well, I can't necessarily put a mark on specific things. Like for drumming, like there's specific drummers like say Derek Roddy and George Colias who are like huge for me. Yaska from Children of Bodom,
Oof.
uh, the Rev from Avenged Sevenfold. He was like one of my big guys, you know. So you
Yeah.
guys like that, like old school Joey Jordison, like the two first albums. Uh, you know, old school stuff, pretty much. I've been
maybe
a lot
Lombardo.
into that.
Because
What?
the
Sorry.
drumming on the album is really extreme, right? Like
Yeah, indeed.
it's absolutely extreme.
Yeah, there's a lot of extreme, and what I like to do a lot. I also have like a classical music background. I played violin before. Like my first
Mhm.
instrument was violin for like 5 years, and then I did orchestra in high school. all high school and jazz after that in college. So I've been doing like orchestra a lot in my life too. So, you know, all those composers he mentioned are some of those guys that I did listen to and like that I do enjoy listening to. Like I haven't listened to their whole BWV catalog and all that shit, but you know, specific stuff I've listened to, and you know, the Four Seasons, Vivaldi, and stuff like that. You know, it sounds metal, so like.
But I would say like the biggest influence for me, it has always been like Bach. For me, he's the greatest composer that has ever lived on the earth. Like, there's no other like him. He's like the pinnacle of the Western civilization. So for
the
me,
OG, man.
he's the goat. Like
even more than Mozart.
Absolutely, like I would say like 10 times than Mozart,
wow.
because I would say like Mozart is overvalued sometimes.
Okay.
If you will look like his keyboard pieces are so basic. You compare those pieces with Beethoven writing, like the piano writing is absolutely basic. It's beautiful. Those pieces are beautiful, but you absolutely compare like a Mozart piece with a Beethoven piece, and a Beethoven piece has much expression and technicality rather than Mozart. Mozart wrote some amazing music. For example, the Requiem. I would say is like the most why he's most known for, and the arias and the Midnight Queen aria, I guess. But in the keyboard work, he's not as much as outstanding as Beethoven or Bach in terms of counterpoint, of intense yeah. For me, I like Mozart, but he's often like overlooked a lot. Like I'm not much hype of Mozart. If you actually like analyze him as much as the piano writings of Beethoven, but as well he's all these guys around that era make much more better music like on this whole century. Absolutely. So there's no point of comparison, but yeah, mostly.
No, I get
it's
it.
not the same era, so like that's debatable.
Those guys were amazing, like absolutely.
Yes.
And in terms of, I would say like orchestration, the guys who changed the game in terms of orchestrations, like Berlioz, or I would say Wagner. Those, like in terms of sounding like huge and titanic and powerful, these guys made it, and these guys like defined the huge orchestral sound. And the in terms of quantity of a bigger orchestra, these guys had bigger orchestras to work with, and it was amazing. All of these guys, absolutely, I would say, especially Wagner, had inspired a lot this record in terms of orchestration as well.
Didn't know much about it. I'm kind of ignorant in terms of classical music, I gotta say.
We all are
naive.
we all are until you get into the rabbit hole of this whole classical era composer and stuff. But it's amazing. I'll absolutely love it.
Wow. Yeah, and you were citing Wagner, and it say that Wagner is like the most metal classical composer or something like that.
It's
I
crazy.
have heard something.
I've heard that, but no, I don't know if he would be the most metal, like as we know it. I would say like the Baroque composers will be more around that. The most metal guys, the most classical and metal guys, I would say, because the Baroque, around, like those composers, they did an absolutely heavy counterpoint. They wrote like really heavy music for the era. I would say the Baroque composers and some Romantic era composers as well. If you watch, for example, if you listen to not only the orchestral pieces of Beethoven, but as well his piano pieces
Yeah.
are absolutely metal. And I would say as well the most important two pianists, I would say like Chopin and Liszt. I would say Liszt at the first, and Chopin would be like around there. But this guy's absolutely amazing.
Yeah, yeah, gotta say. So I need to listen more to this classical stuff.
I actually encourage everyone who watched this. Like I would say, like you will find all the great music coming from this era. Like like if you want to absolutely listen to great music, like not in a pretentious way, like an absolutely like great content and
Mhm.
well crafted music, you will have to go absolutely with the classical era composers. And I would say like regarding the album and how we brought all of this together, the influences from these guys were absolutely there. Like I don't know if you have listened to the fifth track of the album, which is Interludium. I
Mm.
attempt
That's an instrumental
to
one.
yeah, I attempt to write like like for example, like it would say like an impromptu, which is a classical piece form, but the
Okay.
piano key, like the piano is like the key part of the whole piece. Like at the beginning there's this like I would say like ethereal and atmospheric part, and then the second part of this track is an absolutely madness of piano playing. So
Yeah, yeah, I've heard.
is really inspired from them, from Chopin, from Liszt, from all these guys.
Okay, okay.
It's
That's nice to
heavy
hear it.
piano, man.
Yeah. I love absolute heavy piano pieces. So they're
Yo,
amazing.
like my college teachers all said, they were all high on fucking opium, man. So no wonder they made all this stuff, man.
Yeah,
To
indeed.
write a
Ah,
whole symphony in one night,
I remember
you
like
gotta be
Mozart.
there, man.
Mozart was.
yeah.
I remember like Mozart was one of the guys who wrote a piece the same day like they had the premiere of the piece.
Oh,
So it's a crazy story.
yeah, indeed. Indeed. It's a Simpsons reference also, by the way. There's a chapter
Yeah.
in the Simpsons series about Mozart and his life. Ah, but by the
Yeah,
way,
he
sorry,
had
sorry.
to listen to like a 20-hour symphony
Well,
or something stupid like that, and he re-transcribed the whole thing after one
Yeah, that's
listen.
another story. Yeah.
Like that, it's like for the Pope or a king
well,
or something.
Mhm.
Crazy stuff, man.
well, yeah, yeah. Ah, by the way, Jose was showing this comment. It's by Alejandro Bautista. Alejandro is from Vital Chaos, as far as I
Yeah,
know.
I know this guy. See, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. We interviewed the band in a previous day. Hey, hey, Alejandro. Hola, saludos.
¿Cómo
¿Todo
están,
bien?
Hola,
muchachos?
¿qué tal? Qu'est-ce
So he says
qui
that having Nick as the official drummer of the album is awesome. Besides having Dominic as the guest bassist, by the way.
Oh, also, I have to say, like, the guy here, Nick, I always look up to him. Like, he's like, dude, he's an amazing drummer. Like, I will watch his videos for hours. Sometimes I analyze his drumming before like contacting
Oh,
her. Like, dude, this guy not also plays accurately, but he also plays with so much feeling. And
mhm.
if you watch his videos playing live with First Fragment or with his other bands he have played with, Nick has always like delivered like an amazing performance. Like he's not only accurate and really good drummer, but he also gives a show to the audience. Like he actually manages to be like entertaining for the people, like for the show. So it's a good. You can experience this like just listening to a record, but like playing live with Nick would be something amazing. Like I would absolutely love to someday. I don't know.
It
yeah.
would
You're
be.
gifted, Nick. Congrats, dude.
It would be crazy, man. I don't mind. I'd come to Colombia.
Yeah. It will be amazing, but hopefully I don't know what life differs, but it will be great. It will be absolutely great. But yeah, Nick, we're so, I have to say, like always, I'm so grateful to have worked with Nick in the album, and also I gotta mention that his main band, First Fragment, is also one of my favorite bands. Like I would say, right now I have like top 3 metal bands for me, and First Fragment is one of them, because it's absolutely what I am looking for in metal and in music today. So I really look up to these guys.
I appreciate it, man. You know, we put the work, but you did amazing work too for this album, man.
Yeah, it
So,
was a lot of work, really,
you
really a
know,
lot of work.
I say it's 100% the same range caliber wise as First Fragment. You know, maybe there's less fucking solos, or you know, less notes.
Yeah, because Phil
But-
is a madman. You know, Phil is an absolute madman. He like solos like in every, like there's like
He
I believe
solos
like
when he
20, every
sleeps.
20 seconds there's like an absolute shred solo. It's amazing. Like I will call up to Phil Tugas, which is the founder of First Fragment, and he's one of the, as well, I would say, like he's one of my favorite modern guitarists right now. He's amazing guitar player. He's ultra creative. His technique is flawless, and it's an amazing guy. I actually attempted to have him in the record, like but at the time it wasn't possible, because I remember like he was touring with his other projects, and at the time it wasn't possible. But I promised myself that I would love to work with Phil for like a second album or anything. I would love to collaborate with him as well, like on a future album. I don't know.
Okay.
It's amazing.
Oh, nice to hear it. So, by the way, so switching to your main project, Nick. So you're from Quebec, right?
Yeah.
So from this Quebecois scene, pardon my French if I mispronounce it. So from this Quebecois scene that has given us Cryptopsy and Cataclysm, that are two
Amazing.
big bands,
Huge band.
two really big bands. By the way, Cryptopsy was my delayed birthday gift. I was in the show this year in Colombia, and they really rocked the
You went
stage.
to the show, to the Cryptopsy show, like in January?
Yeah, February. Actually,
February, yeah.
February. Yeah, and
Was
they
it
rocked.
awesome?
Yeah. So,
Must
So
have
it's-
been crazy, man.
It was amazing, because I remember on the show, Chris, he plays with Cryptopsy. He's the guitarist from Crypt, and he played with a BrainBlast shirt on the show. I
Oh,
give
shit.
to him like the BrainBlast shirt, and he was like, "Hey, I will play live with the shirt." And there are some pics over there, so it was
Nice
really nice.
detail. Yeah.
Really, really nice.
Yeah,
nice.
Chris is a man.
Yeah, he's absolutely a really nice guy, and he's an absolute professional. What he does is, I would say, he's one of the best metal mixers of extreme metal. Like you have Jens Bogren, and you have Otero, you have as
Dave.
well Chris Donaldson. They're like the top guys. I also watched their videos on this thing called Nail the Mix. I don't know if you guys are familiar with, but it's like a online teaching of how to mix metal, and They mostly bring huge
which one,
bands
sorry?
and Nail the Mix.
Oh no,
Yeah.
I haven't heard of it.
Nail the Mix. It's like a contest,
Yeah.
but I wouldn't say like it's a contest, but
They get all
uh,
these big guy
yeah.
mixers, and they show you how they mixed certain songs from certain albums they did and all that
Mhm.
stuff. And you can
Like
win like
a
big prizes, like thousands of dollars worth of software and all this shit. So it's
a
a, it's
year
a, it's a
of
big
that.
thing.
Mm.
Chris has
Oh.
been on it like 4 times, I think.
Like like 6 times already. Like I remember,
6, man.
I don't know. Like but he has his mixers. His mixes have been featured. He worked with this band Shadow of Intent. He
Oh, wow.
has also mixed
nice.
Shadow of Intent. He has also mixed what is what Suffocation. Like he has mixed
Beneath the Massacre,
Death.
Despised Icon.
Beneath
The Space Icon also.
Despised
this
Icon,
year
Beneath the Massacre.
Oh, okay.
they released like this year. They released album. I believe.
Yeah, just recently.
He have worked like huge bands, and he knows the sound we were going for, and he absolutely delivered and mixed the orchestra like really well. So it was an amazing
Yeah, man.
amazing thing to do.
Oh,
Nice. I
wow.
love to watch these videos so much as well. I'm like a
These role
producer
playing
as well.
ones?
Are
Like
you a producer as well?
this, yeah, like
Yeah.
these
Cool.
ones and the ones from Mix with the Masters.
Yeah, but
They have like all these
I believe
techniques and
the mix with the master, but I don't know if they're focused like in metal. I don't know. I'm not sure.
no, no, but you learn like a lot of techniques that you can maybe apply later. I also watch a lot from Dave Otero's. Yeah.
There is
He's
huge
really
also.
amazing. Yeah. So
But
yeah,
Chris as well. The mix is absolutely amazing. I recommend you to
I'm
to
gonna
check
check
that out.
more that out. Yeah. Now that we are talking, we have talked about like this musical influence, this classical musical influence. We talked at first about the production, the design. Maybe we can talk about like the concept and the thematics in this album. I believe this album is like rooted in like this deep spirituality, in the afterlife,
Some
in
cosmogony
some
also.
exactly in some personal experiences. Maybe you can talk us about, maybe without revealing too much if you want, like what inspired these lyrics, what kind of personal experiences, or what do you decide to include these themes, like from philosophy and symmetry and all of that into the album? Let's talk a bit about that.
Okay, so only this part, like we can have content for like a 2-hour video, but it's
Hours.
not the idea, I know. But as you mentioned, this album has like a great impact and is really heavily rooted on spirituality.
Mhm.
It's crazy. I will talk like all night about this, but I will try to be like really concrete on this. Yeah, the album has all like goes through on the lyrics and all of this you listen to. My camera. Okay. Is really based on that. It's not like nice words like that accompany the music and just that. No, they actually have like a lot of meaning behind.
Mhm.
Also the lyrical stuff like took a long to write, because also like I wanted like the whole concept of the album was like solid, like you wouldn't find like flaws around the concept of the album. So it took a lot of time, like actually it took time to develop like good, and like don't fill with nice words and anything, because I know tech that is a genre that you usually will fill in lyrics with spatial vortex and of this type of words and all of that, that sometimes it might not have like a certain meaning, but regarding the lyrics of the album and the theme of all of this, it does have, it actually like explores the afterlife of the human life, like the what happens after death. Like it describes, like it dwells deep into all of this. And I will not say much about this, but this is based like on personal experiences. Like I have experienced, like, no, I wouldn't say like I have experienced, but I have lived through things that have me like changed my mind on many things, and starting thinking about like more bigger things than life, like what's our meaning behind of life, like not the usually common question like who are we, where do we come from, like what happens after life and all of this. But I've gone through a lot of experiences that made me change my mind and made me explore of all of this. This all started with some things, and after that I wanted to know more about, like I had so many questions, like I wanted to go further about that. And at this point I would say like I'm a really very very spiritual person. I'm not a religious person, but I am a very spiritual person, and I wanted to all of this like getting the album, like also to say something like deep on the album. Like the music is good, everything is good, but also like there's this whole spiritual purpose behind this record for me, and hopefully for the people that actually listen to it and vibe with it, they can actually also feel this way, like they can relate to all of these lyrics. Also one thing that that help a lot, like influence a lot of all of these, are the multiple cases of afterlife experiences. Like you can go find everywhere like the experiences of people that were like clinically dead like for minutes or a couple of things. And regarding their culture and background, they all had like similar experiences, and they all also didn't talk about like this, like they were like scared or anything like this. They pretty much described like this whole experience was like their life revelation. So it's crazy. All of the album lyrics. I encourage to the people, to the listeners, to go through all of this, and it might get you thinking about all of this. So yeah, basically that's pretty much
The main
how we
idea.
went over there.
Yeah, we definitely will pay attention to these lyrics about afterlife, about spirituality, and I
It's really
think
interesting.
with the orchestration and the whole thing, it mixes, it combines like really really nice.
Right, combines really well.
So yeah, we are getting closer to the end of our interview, so I wanted to ask two questions to both of you. The first one you have already like answered a bit, and is that you give us a recommendation of a band, three bands that you would like to recommend to us, to our listeners. So Ed, let us begin with you. Recommend us three bands.
Like three bands I love or I would like to recommend.
Yeah, that you would like to recommend to our audience, that you are like, I don't know, I just listened to this band and this album is really amazing, so maybe go check that out, or could be one of your
Okay,
favorite
like
bands as well. Is
I would say like the old time influence, Children of Bodom. I would say like I never get tired of listening to Children of Bodom.
good old
It's
Children of Bottom.
it's because there's like this special emotional feeling with me with this band because it was the first band I ever listened to in my life. I
Mm.
listened to them like when I was like 7 years old, and I didn't knew anything
Wow.
like in my family, like anybody listened to metal. Like this just came to my life for some reason. Um, and I first heard Children of Bottom, and I was like, what is this? I don't know what's this, but I love this. Like I was scared, but like I remember watching the Every Time I Die video on YouTube,
Yeah,
and I was alone in my home, and I was like, what is this? I was a bit scared. I was a child, and I was a bit scared, but this band changed my life forever. Children of Bottom, and Alexi became like a huge influence for me, like as a frontman and as a composer. His
Mhm.
style and everything, because Children of Bottom is a band that also is very melodic, and all the melodies you listen over there are like very like European influence music. So it's beautiful. So I would say Children of Bottom. Uh, it's tough. The second one is tough because I don't know. I would say Flesh God Apocalypse because of the orchestration and how good this band has evolved within the years. Flesh God Apocalypse is an absolutely great band. And third one, I would say First Fragment because as well is one of my favorite bands, and I had the chance to collaborate with Nick, so it's a pure honor. And I would say this band absolutely deserves more attention than they already have. They have really good following, but this band deserves a really lot more. So I will go Children of Bottom, Flesh God Apocalypse, and First
Okay,
Fragment
that's
for me.
first one.
Okay,
I
Nick,
don't.
and you?
I I don't know what to say, man. I
You
would
can
say
say First
what
Fragment. You can say First Fragment.
I can. You said it first. Damn. Okay. I will say Grey Lotus. If you guys do not know Grey Lotus,
Yeah, nice
because
guys.
they're amazing shred, sick stuff.
You guys
Definitely
toured
one
with them,
band.
I believe. I remember you guys toured with them.
Yeah, First Fragment. We toured with them in 2023 with Archaic, and
I
wait,
remember. I
it was
remember.
Archaic, Awaken Providence. Yeah, and Grey Lotus. That was a sick tour, man. But yeah, that's where I discovered Grey Lotus, and those guys are
Mhm.
amazing. Ben composition, it's crazy. The shredding, it's definitely, it's not like in the neoclassical area, but you can relate to it very much. It's very awesome. So I would say Grey Lotus is one band to check out. Um, another band, Rhapsody of Fire. Luca
Oh, amazing.
Turini's Rhapsody of Fire.
Who? I didn't
Specific.
know. I didn't know you were like into power metal or all of this.
Hell yeah, man. And I got to work with the one and only Ed, who looks like Fabio Leon.
I've been said this like 20 times already. Yeah, like absolutely, I have.
Now
And
I
yeah,
can't unsee it.
Rhapsody. Uh, yeah, Rhapsody, that is one of those bands that has influenced me a lot since I was like very, very young. And as much as the metal as the orchestrations in there, it's crazy. Either Rhapsody or Luca Turini, straight up his project, same thing. It's all in that genre. It's amazing songwriting. I love it. And so that would be a second band I would say people should be looking at.
Absolutely amazing
Well,
band.
like anyway, OG stuff like they're not doing anything now. You got Alex, like the keyboardist, who's doing his Rhapsody now, but I haven't listened to that, so I don't know. But the OG stuff like Symphony Enchanted Lands and all that, definitely people should be looking at that stuff. And one more band. What could I say? It's a tough one. I would say Brain Drill. I don't know if you guys know Brain Drill. With
I thought you were gonna say BRAINBLAST, but you missed that opportunity.
I can't say Brain Blast because we are the subject of discussion. So for fans of Brain Blast, I can't say listen to Brain Blast.
yeah.
It wouldn't work out. But I will say Brain Drill because that's one of those first bands that really did get me into the extreme stuff.
Nice.
Like when I I heard, like, my buddy from New Brunswick would show me Lord Marco and Jeff Ewell with the 7-string bass and stuff, and it was just like crazy blast beats, 300 BPM and shit. And that's one of those guys I did look at when I started getting into the extreme scene. So yeah, I would say Brain Drill is one of those bands people should check out if you want to get some fucked up music. Sorry for cursing.
We'll definitely will check them out.
Yeah. We will have to listen to them.
Thank you for the recommendations.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm curious about something. So, would you like to play along with a symphonic band or something like that, with a more classical, more classic instruments? So besides Brainblast band, Brainblast, like
You mean play
orchestra.
live with
Like-
an orchestra
Or
with
outside
the band?
outside the band.
Yeah, that would be sick. I've played with orchestras, like I said, I did orchestra in high school, so I've played orchestral music like a good portion of my life. So I'm at ease with working with an orchestra for sure. That would be awesome. I've never done it before, but you never know.
I absolutely love that idea too. Yeah, I have played with orchestra before. In my when I was in college, I did study music in college, so I was in the choir. And once we played with the Berlioz Orchestra from France here in Bogota, in CAFAM Theater. I don't know if you guys know it.
Yeah.
Never been
I've
there.
played with the French Berlioz Orchestra, and it was a really nice experience. I always love
Crazy, man.
all of these experiences, but it depends on the repertoire. So I am always picky with the repertoire. I love when the classical pieces are like really metal. I love that, but sometimes there are pieces that aren't like in that vibe. But always I love these collaborations and all of this with real orchestras, and I find it amazing.
Yeah, indeed, that's something I would like to see, or many of us would like to see, because that's a very good mix. So metal and classical music mix very well. Well, most
Like, are
of
the best two genres for me, like the best music I love, like classical music and metal. It's like the two genres I love the most. So yeah.
Yeah, indeed. I would like it. I would like to hear it. Maybe at the Leon de Grave Auditorium, the auditorium of my university, the National University.
Amazing. Yeah. I know it.
It's a huge auditorium, by the way, Nick. It's my university has a huge auditorium.
Here in
Even
Bogota.
in Bogota, even the graduation ceremonies are held there.
Oh,
Are held
nice.
Are held there, and sometimes the symphonic orchestra, the National Symphonic Orchestra, plays there, and acoustic and sound are
It's
just
beautiful.
nice. So
Imagine with Brain Blast.
Oh, that is like
That
one
must
hell of
happen.
a dream. Like one of my biggest dreams in life is like actually playing like some stuff of BrainBlast with an actual orchestra. But in terms of logistics, this is something like absolutely really hard to achieve. But
Yep.
that would be like one of my wildest dreams ever in life. Like crazy. Imagine playing like this album like with a live orchestra. That would be.
Mhm.
That'd be
It's
sick,
not,
man.
not only is difficult because of the orchestra, which are like already like 30 or 40 people, but along with the choirs we will need, only with the choirs we will need like more than 25 people. So in terms of logistics is something like really
Yeah.
really difficult, but it
Something
will
big.
be something I like a wild dream, like crazy.
It's doable, man.
Like
It's
I remember
doable.
like Dimmu Borgir did this on
Septic Flesh
Wacken
did this in Mexico.
in
They
Mexico.
played
Celtic
with
Flesh,
the Mexican Symphony Orchestra, I guess.
yeah, and as well Dimmu Borgir on Germany on Wacken, on the Wacken festival. They actually did this, and
Yeah, I
crazy.
think they did in Norway too.
Satyricon did this too. Well, there've been many bands. Metallica have done this as well.
Yeah,
Also.
Metallica.
Mm.
Yep.
Even
And-
I think Rhapsody have too. I'm not sure, but I think they have, maybe in Italy or something.
Yeah, and also Scorpions, I guess. Scorpions also played with a symphonic orchestra, symphonic band,
Crazy.
a long time ago.
And Kraken, no? Colombian band.
Yeah, correct.
Any
But
Colombian
for
band?
extreme metal, the
Ah.
logistics of extreme metal, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Like thinking of this type of logistic, with an extreme like tech death band is like something like blows my mind. Like it will be crazy.
So yeah. So by the way, so I guess Jose was saying that a very very famous band, like the most famous Colombian metal band, played along with the symphonic orchestra. It was
Kraken,
Kraken.
I don't know that band, Kraken.
Yeah, Kraken.
It's not that
mythological
extreme. It's not
monster.
pretty much extreme, but it's more like I would say like more influence around like I don't know like rock,
Like
Yeah, hard rock, heavy metal. It's more like hard rock, heavy
heavy metal.
stuff.
Like yeah,
heavy metal,
stuff.
yeah.
Yeah.
But they played with the symphonic orchestra at the auditorium. I was telling you, Nick,
Mhm.
the On the Grave auditorium.
That's
Oh.
crazy, man. How many people fit in that auditorium?
Of like 8,000, maybe.
8,000.
No, sorry, I'm exaggerating. That's quite. That's even
Not that big.
a Roman
It's
Colosseum.
an arena, man.
Those are 8,000, like maybe 200 or more.
Maybe
Yeah.
more, maybe
Yeah.
like
Maybe
500.
300, maybe more or less. But it's a lot of people.
It's so far away from 8,000, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
By
I was
an order of
exaggerating.
magnitude.
It's always crowded in the ceremonies. It's always crowded. Oh man.
Crazy.
Okay, so now we are at the end of the interview. We would like to thank Ed and Nick for their time, for everything that they've told us about Brain Blast, about classical music, for the recommendations that they've made of those bands. We're gonna check them out. We're gonna let the link to a YouTube or Bandcamp where you can check out these bands as well. And we hope to see more of Brain Blast in the future. This album that was just released on November was amazing. We recommend everyone to just go and check that album out. It's really amazing in every platform that you want. We will also like to recommend to everyone that is listening to us to check out our Substack. We have a list of 100 albums from Colombian bands. Brain Blast is included in this list, and it's not only metal, but you may also find hardcore punk, goth rock, and many post-punk as well. Like all this scene from the underground and the extreme scene music you may found there. And remember to listen to our podcast in every podcast platform. We release an episode every week where we talk with a band, a Colombian band, and we also talk about different stuff, like what happens when AI makes like music or something like that. Like we explore different things. Yeah.
Explore different topics.
Yeah. That's what we thought about music with AI. So you should go check that episode out. Again, thank you very much. Thank you, Santiago, Ed, and Nick.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you guys
Thank
for
you
having
so
us,
much.
man.
Thank you so much for the space and the opportunity, guys. Also, it's crazy that we did the whole interview in English. But
Indeed. For the first interview.
crazy, but it turned out really well. Thank you so
Yeah.
much to Chain Reaction, to all the followers, to everyone who tuned with in the live. Thank you so much for inviting us, for inviting Nick, and listen to the album. And if you like
Please.
it, follow us on anything. Like, we are in all our media as BRAINBLAST Official. So yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you guys again for having us. Thank you everyone who tuned in. Thanks Ed for having me on this adventure and having me here tonight. It was an honor. And to all my people in Colombia, a la izquierda, a la derecha, hola.
Nice.
Ciao. Muchas
So we're
gracias,
gonna
muchachos.
say, yeah, we're
See you
gonna say
guys.
goodbye with Colossus Suprema. So
Nice.
check that out.
Yeah.
Bye.
Cool.
See ya.